So, people have been asking me to make this video since this news kind of broke out yesterday. If you have not heard, it's kind of an interesting situation. Deandre Baker and Quinton Dunbar have, I believe this warrants out for their arrest after committing armed robbery, and that's always fun. Giants traded up into the first round to get him last year. He was really awful, didn't know the playbook at all, so he was frequently running zone in man situations and sometimes man in zone situations. So that was always fun to see him get burnt. Got a little bit better near the end of the season, and now it seems like there's nowhere to go but up because he's going to go to jail. Most likely, he'll certainly be cut from the Giants if these reports are true, as they seem to be. I'm not really going to be talking about Quinton Dunbar too much in this video. Apparently, the contract situation with him in Seattle, it's almost nothing for the Seahawks to cut him. And I'm a Giants fan, so we're going to be talking about Deandre Baker in this kind of quick video. Also, as you watch this, I should be live on Twitch. I think I'm going to be streaming NCAA 14. So as always, the links are down in the description, twitch.tv/Bengal. I'll be live right now as you're watching this, so make sure to come over there and check it out if that's something you're interested in. Probably recording Ben Bones' Road to Glory, and then they will be uploaded as videos after. Subscribe if you're new for more NFL talk. But yeah, Deandre Baker, what a fucking idiot. So I'm going to be coming, I don't want to curse too much in this video, but you can't piss away an opportunity like he did worse than this. This was someone who just didn't seem to give a shit at all last year. Because how do you not know the playbook? How often do you hear about that being an issue? I can think of two guys where that has really been an issue over the past decade plus. That's Jamarcus Russell, who's a quarterback, more important to know the playbook at that position, and Deandre Baker now. How do you not know what play is being called, and you're out there starting? I mean, what a disaster. And it's so funny, and I can't really blame Gettleman too much for this, but, you talk about a culture change and getting the right guys in and picking for the player, for the person, over the ability that they might have in some situations, and it's just unreal to me that you'd take a player like Deandre Baker, who, by all reports, had some red flags at Georgia. His coaches, didn't really talk him up as a high-level work ethic guy. And the Giants are like, it doesn't matter. We're going to trade up into the first round, and that's our guy, Deandre Baker. And it was a good scheme fit for what the Giants were doing last year in terms of press man, what they wanted to do. And then they just straight up did not do that. They ran a lot of zone coverage where Deandre Baker seemed super out of place. So I'm like, if you're going to run zone almost primarily, and that's what it seemed to be when Deandre Baker was on the field most often, why would you not take Byron Murphy, who, in my opinion, was a better corner prospect coming out, and was certainly the better zone coverage player at UW, and now is on the Arizona Cardinals. So the pick it seemed to make sense at the time, and then it didn't make sense over the next season, and now certainly doesn't make sense that he's been, pretty much arrested and his NFL career might be over. Because if you think about him going to jail for 5 to 10, because it looks like $12,000 in cash and watches worth up to $25,000 were taken. So I think the story was something along the lines of they were at a party, and then an argument broke out, and then they robbed the party. And you're like, that sounds weird for guys that make millions of dollars per year. There's another report out that they lost like $70,000 in that previous weekend. And then the cars were repositioned outside of the party. Like this was a premeditated plan sort of thing. So, I don't really have too much to say on this other than they're both idiots. Deandre Baker specifically is a fucking idiot because he was just drafted. They're both stupid. I mean, what can you really say? You absolutely just shit away millions and millions of dollars. What is Deandre Baker's contract? It's a first-round contract, so it's going to be a lot of guaranteed money. 30th overall pick. He signed a 4-year, $10.5 million contract with a $5.6 million signing bonus. And how much of that has he already pissed away? And now, how much more of that has he totally foregone by not even playing his second, third, or fourth year? Guaranteed money was $9 million. It was guaranteed at signing. and then I guess he's thrown away his yearly cash, so throwing away about $5 million, $4 million over the next few years. Kind of depends. That might have been reworked, and maybe he could have even gotten an extension if he played well. Just an absolute idiot. The Giants, once again, are going to giant. I was talking to my dad about this yesterday. I'm like, are the Giants turning into the Jets? Are the Giants turning into the Knicks? Either way, it's like, it's so awful to be a Giants fan nowadays. And I know I'm spoiled as a New York sports fan with the Yankees, who had been so dominant for a while, like especially when I was really like a lot younger. Then they won again in 2009, and then the Giants won in 2007, and then in 2011. I had never been a Knicks or a Jets fan, obviously, but it seems like the Giants have not been a competitive team in a decade. And I know they won a Super Bowl in 2011, but they weren't even particularly good that year. They just got hot in the playoffs, so shout out to them for that. And then they haven't even been good at all over the next decade. I mean, this is a team that has won 6 or fewer games multiple times. The only time they made the playoffs by winning more than 10 games was 2016. I think they won 11, and they weren't a good team then. Their point differential was terrible for an 11-win team. And they lost in the divisional to the Packers, and they didn't even put up a fight. So, just a terrible team. I hate the Giants, even though I love the Giants. It really is a love-hate relationship. They're my favorite team. That's not changing, unfortunately. By God, I wish it could. Someone rewire my brain. I need electroshock therapy to be a Giants fan. The Giants suck. DeAndre Baker sucks. Idiot. Dave Gettleman sucks. I'm gonna say it. Like, whatever. He's had some decent picks. We'll see how they pan out though over the long term. Yeah, what a terrible team this is. And DeAndre Baker's an idiot, and I don't like him. That's gonna do it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Take it easy.